So I have officially passed the 1 year mark since my office closed down and I started working remotely. And I know I've been incredibly fortunate to be able to keep my job throughout this time, to have dodged a couple rounds of layoffs and only had to deal with 6 months of a pay cut. And I'm fortunate for my health, which I haven't even gotten as much of a cold for over the past year. And really, for all this free time that I have, I used to commute 3 to 4 hours a day. I've really started to use that time to invest in myself. Over the past year, I started lifting. I've gone completely vegan. I got off of hormonal birth control, started to get consistently good night's sleep, started to cook more and really invest in my health and my wealth, and I was able to start this channel. So it's been really awesome to have all this free time to spend at home. But on that same token, it's also really sucked spending a lot of time at home. Over the past year, I've spent about 90% of my waking time just like in this chair, staring at this screen. And this is for all forms of my work, for my 9 to 5, for my reserve job, and also for this channel. I've stopped going to gyms and I'm only working at home. So really the only consistent outing that I have on a weekly basis is going to the grocery store or my weekly pizza pickup. Maybe going on a run if it's not raining. I haven't hopped on a plane in over a year, which is really hard for me because travel is one of my favorite things and is one of my outlets. And it was really hard for a couple of months when my mom left to Japan and my partner left for deployment, and I would talk to my dogs more than I would talk to anyone else. My papa is a man of very few words, but I would look forward to those weekly grocery outings because it would be the most human interaction I would have in days. And with my mom back, things have gotten better, but days are still hard. I've noticed that I've had a harder time turning my mind off, where I start to think in worst case scenarios, and even having anxiety of the death of loved ones, which no one's really close to death, so it's kind of an irrational way of thinking. I've been having more mood swings regularly, which one day I'll be really excited and pumped about life and the opportunities and being super productive and working towards my goals. For other days I just feel really tired and irritable and uninspired and wonder if all this work is even worth it. And then I get into this headspace where I feel like I should be used to this by now and I should stop talking about this because people are probably tired of hearing me talk about this because we're all going through it. I don't want to be a bother to the people in my life. And as we've said before, people react to situations differently. My experience can be completely different from another person's experience. Some days I think I'm handling it pretty well, but other days I don't. And I think that's just a human thing. And it's not something that I should be hard on myself for. Just because it's been a whole year of isolation doesn't mean that it gets easier because it's normal now. Doesn't mean that it's okay. Humans are social beings. We're not meant to spend all our time cooped up. It's okay to be sad and acknowledge that sometimes. We don't have to be these productive, resilient people all the time. The fact of the reality is this pandemic can have such a huge effect, a detrimental effect to your mental health. Sometimes having a good cry can be beneficial, doing some yoga, going on a walk. Me, the fact that I never see anyone outside of my house, I know is starting to get to me, so I'm gonna start going to a gym, signing up for a local gym just so I can get that human interaction piece. But here, what I really think the best service that we can do for ourselves is acknowledging all feelings and being able to talk about them. Don't ignore any feelings that may arise. Don't ignore your core human needs of human interaction, of socialization, of course being able to do it in a safe and responsible way. Don't ignore them for the sake of being strong, of seeming strong, of feeling like you should be over it by now. Because again, you're only human. This is a weird time we live in. All feelings that you have are normal and valid. And hopefully with the vaccines rolling out, social interactions won't be too risky here in the near future. So that's today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. Just wanted to keep it real and share some thoughts of how I've been feeling 1 year into this pandemic. let me know how you're feeling, where you're at in this whole pandemic, and yeah, looking forward to having those chats. So until then, talk to you later. Bye.